Good afternoon. Sorry, good morning.
Sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. So very good morning. Very good morning to one and all. So in the previous class, we already started the chapter agriculture, and in the previous classes we discussed what is the importance of agriculture in the Indian economy. But today, let us start from the beginning of this chapter. So how that agriculture makes a most vital role in the Indian economy, or what are the types of farming, and how these types of the farming is helps which generate more employment opportunity in India. This is the thing actually we discuss in today's class. Generally, as you all know, farming it is a backbone of Indian economy. We all know that, isn't it? Farmers they were known as a backbone of Indian economy. ರೈತರನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಬೆನ್ನೆಲುಬು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. So in last class we know that why they were known as a backbone of Indian economy. In the earlier days, in the initial days, they gives more contribution for the Indian economy in the terms of GDP, and as well as it is the one of the sector which provide more employ opportunity to the people where they can engage in the economical activity and they can lead their life. So that's why it is popularly known as it is the backbone of Indian economy compared to the other countries, European countries or any other countries. If you people observe, so definitely our agriculture production and as well as our agriculture contribution for the country's economy, that is more. So that's why Indian agriculture it is referred as a backbone of Indian economy, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it? Fine. Why?
Yes,
Why?
sir.
You have to respond. You have to respond. Okay, fine. So we know. So in the earlier days, the farming is one of the most important occupation where that provides an opportunity for the people to engage in the work. So farming, we know that today, what is the meaning of the primitive subsistence farming? What are the types of farming we have in India? You know, basically, if you people observe a types of farming, it is based on what type of the crops they grow. What is the purpose they grow the cereals and crops? Based on these aspect, based on these factor, our Indian farming is classified into the different types. Did you get my point? It means the cultivation method, and as well as the purpose of the cultivation, a characteristics of the cultivation, the physical environment, the technology what they adopted at the time when they grow the crops, and based on the social cultural practices. So how these type of the farmings are there in India. So based on this all factor, based on this all aspect, we can found a different types of the farming in India. So even Timrapas are also complete these all topics. Once again, I will repeat these all things, and that can be a helps to you people for your upcoming term one examination. First of all, the first one, the very important one, that is a primitive subsistence farming. A primitive subsistence farming ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. What is this primitive subsistence farming? Where this farming was practiced in India? What is the use of the primitive subsistence farming? And how that can be helps the farmers to grow a different crops in India? So let us discuss this one, the primitive subsistence farming. Might be you also know the meaning of the primitive subsistence farming. Anybody?
Old.
Old. What do you mean by old?
Sir, the primitive subsistence farming is practiced in old days.
Okay, we all know that. In
Farming
the
on a
old
small
age,
patch of land with the help of primitive tools.
definitely, very good. So, as per Amulya, during the olden days, we use this type of the practice in farming, that is a primitive subsistence farming. Basically,
Also
the
with the
peoples
help
were
of
my
slash and burn
yes.
culture.
Hi. You can proceed, Chinmay. You can proceed.
And also with the help of slash and burn cultivation.
So it is also very popularly known as a slash and burn agriculture. It is also very popularly known as a slash and burn agriculture, whatever it may be. Let us discuss. So in earlier days, as you all know, the most important occupation of the human beings in the beginning days, before they realize that from the plants also we get foods, hunting is the main occupation, isn't it? What they did, so when they hunt the animal, they eat that, and again they are moved to the another place, and once that food is over, again they are moved to the another place. This is a migration of the people. But later on, the human beings realize that not only from the animals, we can get the food from the plants also. Then the concept, then the what we call idea was brought among the people, that is agriculture. ಅವಾಗ ಸೊ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಬರೇ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಒಂದು ಬೇಟೆ ಆಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕವಾಗಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ದೇನೆ ನಾವು ಸಸ್ಯಗಳಿಂದನೂ ಕೂಡ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. Then the human beings settled down in one particular place. The concept of society was evaluated. So in the form of agriculture. So not only agriculture, even the animal husbandry kuda ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅವಾಗ ಆರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ primitive subsistence farming. We should understand that the only purpose to get the food which can be sufficient for the family. The farmers, even today also, not only in the olden days, even today also we can found a subsistence farming. There is no commercial purpose. They don't need to earn anything from that farming. They don't sell the crops. Why they actually grow the crops? For their sake, for the to supply the food for their family only. They don't have an intention to sell and make any money or make any profit. Such a type of the farming, it is very popularly known as a primitive subsistence farming. In Kannada, it is very popularly known as ಜೀವನಾಧಾರ ಬೇಸಾಯ. ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಆಧಾರ ಆಗುವಂತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್, ಉದ್ದೇಶಗಳು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಚ್ ಅ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಹೇಗಿದಾಗುತ್ತೆ, these type of the farming is still practiced in a few pockets of our India. A primitive subsistence agriculture is practiced on the small patches of land with the help of the primitive tools like hoe, dough, and digging sticks. So here one more farming is there, as you all know, that is a intensive farming, a intensive subsistence farming. For the intensive subsistence farming, it is a large area they grow the crops. Behind the reason, they need money. Behind the reason, they get more profit. That is the reason. But in small patches, in Kannada ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು, ಸಣ್ಣ ಹಿಡುವಳಿದಾರರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸಣ್ಣ ರೈತರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಭೂಮಿ ಬಹಳ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ಬಳಸುವಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್, that is not a big tools and that is not a what we call a well equipped tools which can help for the agriculture. It is a small tools, ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಆಯುಧಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ಇವರು ದೇ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೈ yields. ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೀಸನ್ ಟು ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಟು ದ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ and the laborers who actually work on that particular small patches, they get the food for their family. So such a type of the family, such a type of the farming, it is called as a subsistence farming ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲೇಬರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಗೆ, ಆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಹಾರ ಅನ್ನೋದು ದೊರಕುತ್ತೆ, ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Such a type of the agriculture even today also in many places of the India was practiced. So this is very popularly known as a subsistence farming. It is a primitive subsistence farming. The primitive, basically you have to understand the primary reason for the primitive subsistence agriculture, that is they should survive. They should survive. ಅವರು ಬದುಕುಳಿಬೇಕು, ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಹಾರ ಬೇಕು, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವರ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು primitive subsistence agriculture ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. I hope you get my point. Is it any doubts to you people regarding about this statement and definition?
No, sir.
Okay, and then ನೋಡಿ ಇದನ್ನ not only what we call a primitive subsistence farming, it is very popularly known as a slash and burn agriculture. What is the reason behind that? Why it is very popularly known as a slash and burn agriculture? Why? What is the reason? I hope you people also know the answer. Can anybody?
Because they cut
Huh.
the trees or plant which is on the area, and they will burn
Huh.
that and they will grow the crops in that place. So it is called
What
as
is the
slash and
reason
burn
why they
agriculture.
burn? Why they burn?
Because if they burn, the crops will grow nicely there. So
To increase the fertility and
To increase the
It
fertility.
acts like a
How?
fertility.
If they are going to burn, how the fertility was increased in the soil?
sir, that ash contains some carbon contents and it also contains some fertile like plants and trees which contain sir. So they will burn.
Uh-huh. Fine, fine. The major reason behind that, the farmers believe that the potash that was consist in the burning. So that's why once they get the yields, once they get the crops, they're going to burn that. They're going to burn that. Why? Because of the reason after the burn, the potash content is going to increase the fertility on that particular land. That is the reason. I hope you get my point. So that's why to increase the fertility for the next pattern for the cropping, they're going to burn this. So that's why it is very popularly known as a slash and burn agriculture. So in many places of our India, from the different names, it was known for the slash and burn. Later on, we know that. Today, when the soil fertility decreases, the farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation. These type of the shifting allows a nature of a replenish the fertility of the soil through the natural process. Might be you people also know about the a shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಥಳಾಂತರ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬಾರಿ 1 or 2 times when they get the yields, when they get the crops, when they get the cereals, again they will not grow the crops in the same land, in the same area. Again they are shifted to the another one, and after that, so the crop, the plants which is there in that particular area, that was burnt, and with the help of the potash, the fertility of the land, fertility of the soil was automatically increased. Bhushita. Okay, so that is the reason it is also very popularly known as a shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, it means the farmers is going to shift to the another place, another area, and the reason behind that, they are given opportunity to increase the soil fertility in that particular area. This is very popularly known as a shifting cultivation. And land productivity in this type of the agriculture is low, as the farmer does not use the fertilizers or the modern inputs. It is known by the different names in the different parts of the country. And moreover, if you people observe what happened in the intensive farming or what happened in the commercial farming, the reason behind that, the farmers grow the different crops for the purpose to earn the money, to earn the profit. But here in the primitive subsistence farming, the inputs which is utilized in nowadays, it means it may be pesticides, it may be insecticides, it may be any type of the chemical fertilizers. These type of the chemical fertilizers were not used in the primitive subsistence farming. Why? Because of the reason they don't have an expectation to get more crops where they can sell that and where they can earn the money. I hope you get my point.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So that's
yes,
why
sir.
basically in the primitive subsistence farming, the farmers grow the crops for their family only, for their community only, and for the struggle for existence. The only thing they have to exist in the society. That is the reason they get the food. That's it. They don't have any intention to grow the crops for the purpose of money, for the purpose of for the for the purpose of a profit. I hope you get my point.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So there is a different names is there. Basically, for 1 mark question, they can ask the question. They can give the MCQ also for your term 1 examination. What are the different names is there for the slash and burn agriculture in the different states of our India? Today it is very popularly known as a jumming. Jumming. Jumming in the northeastern states, and as well as Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Pamlo in Manipur, Dipa in Basta district of Chhattisgarh, and in Andaman Nicobar Islands. And one more thing you have to understand, is it this slash and burn farm agriculture, it is present in even today also in Karnataka? What's your opinion? Many of you people also came from the agriculture family, isn't it? Is it this was practiced in your neighboring villages?
No, sir.
No, sir.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಬೇಸಾಯವನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ?
No, sir.
No, sir.
ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಇದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ the farmers also grow the crops for the purpose of profit, for the purpose to earn the money, isn't it? Very less actually only for the purpose to grow the crops for their subsistence, for their existence. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದು ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೌತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ತಮಿಳುನಾಡು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವನ್ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಲಾಶ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬರ್ನ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ವಿ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, especially Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Chhattisgarh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands also. In this particular area also, the farmers are actually grow the crops for their existence. That is also a slash and burn agriculture. Let us discuss about the what do you mean by a jumming. Jumming it is very popularly known in the northeastern states like Assam, Meghalaya, and Mizoram, and especially in the Nagaland. Slash and burn agriculture is known as a milpa in Mexico. And not only, and one more thing you have to understand, this primitive subsistence farming or agriculture is not only present in India, we can found in the different countries also. For example, in Mexico, in Central America, and in Venezuela, and in Roca and Brazil, in Central Africa. So in the different parts of our world, we can found such a type of the primitive subsistence agriculture, a farming. Then what is this, what they called about the slash and burn agriculture in Mexico? In Mexico, it is very popularly known as milpa, M-I-L-P-A, milpa. Today, basically, as you all know, so MCQs kalirodrinda nimige every country nalli what is the name of the slash and burn agriculture, you have to know that. ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಹೆಸರಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. MCQ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So for example, they give the 4 names and the question is like in which country the slash and burn agriculture is known as ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. And when you are know that, it means when you have an awareness about the different names of the slash and burn agriculture in the different countries, then only you can answer for that question. So that's why be concentrate towards this. So ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಹೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. Did you get my point?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. ಈಗ ಓಕೆ ಇನ್ ದ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಜುಮ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿತ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಒನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಬೇವಾರ್ ಆರ್ ದಹಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ಬೇವರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎ ದಹಿಯಾ, ಅಂಡ್ ಪೊಡು ಆರ್ ಎ ಪೆಂಡಾ ಇನ್ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್, ಎ ಪಾಮಾ ದಾಬಿ ಆರ್ ಎ ಕೋಮನ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗಾ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಒಡಿಶಾ, Kumari in Western Ghats, Walre or Waltre in southeastern, especially Rajasthan, a Khil in the Himalaya belt, a Kurwa in the Jharkhand, and Jumning in the northeastern states. So these are the different names for the slash and burn agriculture. These are the different names of the primitive subsistence farming in the different states of our country. So let us, and it is not there in your textbook. If you people observe, what are the uses and how this is have an important role in the Indian economy? Just we have to discuss this one. Basically, if you people observe, ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಆದಾಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ behind this there is no intention to earn the money, so that's why it doesn't give any type of the contribution for the Indian economy. Farmers grow the crops for their self purpose. ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ನಡೆಸೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವರು ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದರಿಂದ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಲಾಭ ಅಥವಾ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಆದಾಯ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಝೀರೋ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಅನ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then how you justify that, or how you express your opinion? Primitive subsistence farming compared to the other farming, it is helpful for the human beings. Why? How you justify? Anybody?
Sir, it will not harm environment.
Definitely it will not harm environment. Why? How you can justify that primitive subsistence farming is not harm the environment?
Sir, because we will use slash and burn agriculture, no sir. So
Slash and burn. If you are going to burn the plants, how that is going to be not harm the environment? Namrata.
sir, it will harm,
Anybody?
but in less amount.
Let's
Sir, and the
can
food
proceed,
that
Namrata.
we will get from that is healthy.
As per my opinion, if the plants were burnt, that can be make the pollution in the environment. That's my opinion. Then Namrata, how you justify that the slash and burn agriculture doesn't harm the environment? Ha, Namrata, you can proceed. Any others?
Sir, in other types of farming, environment will be polluted more than compared to primitive subsistence agriculture.
How? My question, how? Hege.
Sir, here we will not use any chemicals,
Fine.
but in other agriculture we will use chemicals.
Okay, fine. One thing you have to understand, in the intensive farming and even in the commercial farming, in the plantation farming, the farmer's intention to earn the money, to farmer's intention to earn the more profit. So that's why the farmers increase the pesticides and insecticides and as well as the chemical fertilizers in the land. That can be harmful for the human beings in the form of health. But when it's come to the matter of the primitive subsistence farming, here that doesn't happen. Why? Because of the reason the farmers doesn't have any type of the idea to grow more crops, to get more money, to get more profit. Here the reason behind that, just they should get the food, that's it. And moreover, here the small patches also, isn't it? The small patches also. That's why here the primitive subsistence farming doesn't what we call harm the human beings. That's the answer. Fine. And one more thing, intensive subsistence farming, it means that took the place in the large area, and moreover there is a need of more labors and as well as a more capital. But when it's come to the matter of the primitive subsistence farming, here there is no need of any more labors and more equipments, especially the modern technological equipments, and moreover there is no need of any more capital also, and there is no need of any large land, a large area. The small patches also we can done this a primitive subsistence farming. So that's why agriculture provides a huge opportunity for everybody to get the job. It generates more employment opportunity. But among the agriculture, the very important, the primitive subsistence farming, it provides the more opportunity for the people where they can get the food, where they can engage in the economical activity. I hope you get my point. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let us go through with the second one, the very important one, that is the intensive subsistence farming. What is this intensive subsistence farming? What we call this subsistence farming? This intensive in
Is a
Kannada, if
modern
people
method of
observe.
agriculture.
Wait a minute. ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಂದ್ರ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿತ್ ದ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ನಮ್ರತಾ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ intensive subsistence farming?
Increase in the agriculture production by using the scientific methods and better agriculture inputs.
Good. Okay, fine. Here, as you in the
Sir,
definition,
what
only
do
there is a
we
meaning.
call for in Kannada, sir?
ಸಾಂದ್ರ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸಾಂದ್ರ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, okay, fine. Let us discuss this one. The intensive subsistence farming. Basically, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, as you know, in the definition only there is a meaning is there. Here, the primitive subsistence farming, the reason behind that, they need food. They get to exist, to survive. They need food. That's it. They don't have an intention to grow more crops, to sell that and get the money to get more profit. But intensive subsistence farming has an idea, has a intention, an objective to earn the money, to earn the profit. So that's why this type of the farming is practiced in the large area, and especially in the large population pressure area, and the labor also need more, and the scientific equipments and modern technological equipments which can be utilized for the large area, that was utilized in this. Where is the reason? And moreover, the irrigation facility also is needed for this, especially the inputs like chemical fertilizers and even the pesticides and insecticides and irrigation facility. This is also actually used for the obtaining the higher production. That's why it is very popularly known as an intensive subsistence farming. Anybody want to comment anything regarding about the intensive subsistence farming? Anybody?
Sir, intensive subsistence farming is harm to environment, right, sir?
Yes, absolutely. Where there is a greediness is there, of course that harms to the environment. What's your opinion, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
ಹೌದು, ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅತಿ ಆಸೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ, ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್, ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ that destroy the environment and that can be harmful for the human beings also. Intensive subsistence farming alli, if the chemical fertilizers were not used more, and the pesticide, insecticides or whatever that can be harmful for the human beings body, if that was not used, then only that can be a good. So but even today, if people observe, where the farmers are actually have an intention to get the higher production, of course they utilize these type of the chemical fertilizers that can be damage the life of the human beings. Yesterday I already explained about that a green revolution which took the place in India at the time of the 1967 to the 1970. At the time 1970, we achieved the food security, but the food which was ate by the people, today they are going to suffer a lot. Why? Because of the reason, the chemical fertilizers that is going to harm, that is reduce the life expectancy of the people, which can increase the number of diseases to the people. I hope you get my point. Is it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us move.
Yes, sir.
Though the right inheritance leading to the division of the land among the successive generation has rendered landholding so is uneconomical, the farmers continue to take the maximum output from the limited land in the absence of alternative source of the livelihood. There is a enormous pressures on agricultural land. ನೋಡಿ, might be if you people observe in your neighboring villages and even from your family also, these type of the intensive subsistence farming we can found. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, 1-2 ಎಕರೆ 3 ಎಕರೆ 4 ಎಕರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಭೂಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಬೆಳೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮೇ ಬಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬನಾನಾ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಫುಡ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಹಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಫ್ಲೋರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಿಚ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, more than 3 acres 4 acres. You know that it is not an easy task to grow such a type of the in the large area, make an agriculture, make an farming, make an cultivation in the large area. It is not an easy task. Why? You know that ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಲೇಬರ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಇಸಂಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರು ಹಾಕಿರುವಂತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಈಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಇರಿಗೇಷನ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಓವರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವನ್ ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್, I just want to give an example to you people. At the time of the British East India Company, introduced the Mahalwari system. Might be you people know about this Mahalwari system. It is one of the land reforms which was made by the British East India Company. What is this Mahalwari system? Nodi, Mahal, it refers the taluk anta. In the large area, the Tal community, it means the Tal society, it means the Tal a village people, they engage in the agricultural activity. They produce the yields, they get the cereals and as well as different food crops. And after that, everybody is going to distribute the income among them. It means a certain amount will be, certain tax will be paid to the British East India Company, and the remaining amount, the remaining money, that will be distributed among the people. That is also a intensive farming. For example, if you people observe the intensive farming ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ರೈತರು ಆಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಜಮೀನ್ದಾರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಜಮೀನ್ದಾರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ that exploited the Indian farmers, they were never accepted that, and even the zamindars became a corrupt, and the incomes is reduced for the British Company. Later on they introduced the Raitavari. Even in Raitavari also not useful for the farmers of India, and after that Mahalwari was introduced. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬಿಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಬಿಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ರು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಬೇಕು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಗ್ರೋ, ಅದನ್ನ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮನಿಯನ್ನ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೆಪ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಮಹಲ್ವಾರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೇನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಓನರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್, the farmers is that they were the owners in the large area, so they are going to grow the crops. Did you get my point? In the large area, with the help of the modern technological equipments, with the capital, with the huge population, huge labor, they grow the crops. And behind that, why they grow? Not only for their existence, not only for their survivalence, they need a profit, they need more money. That is the reason behind that. I hope you get my point.
Yes, sir.
So this
Sir,
is all
when
about
is Mahalwari system introduced, sir?
Mahalwari system was introduced at the time of British rule. Thomas Munro, I think Hector Munro or Thomas Munro was the person who actually introduced this Mahalwari, a Mahalwari system. At the time 1875 might be, I don't know exact year, might be 18th century. It means 1875 or before the 1875. Is it clear, ma Gagana?
Yes, sir.
But later on, after the independence, as you know, and one thing you have to understand, ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಬಿಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳು, ಬಿಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒಬ್ಬರ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಜಮೀನ್ದಾರರ ತರ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓನರ್ ಅವರೇ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ in the year of the 1974, one of the amendment was made and one of the revolutionary activity was done in the Indian government. Tiller is the owner of the land anta ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Tiller is the owner of the land. It means ಉಳುವವನೇ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಒಡೆಯ. ಯಾರು ಕೃಷಿ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನವ್ರು ತೊಡಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವರೇ ಆ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಓನರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ನೀತಿ, ಹೊಸ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಏನ್ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒಬ್ಬರ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಹಂಚೋ ರೀತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಟುಡೇ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್, ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರ ಹತ್ರನೇ 10-12 ಎಕರೆ ಜಮೀನು ಇರೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬಹುದು. ಬೇರೆ ವಿಚಾರ. I hope you get my point.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And one more very important farming, that is a commercial farming. What is this commercial farming and how this is helps for the Indian economy? That will be discussed in the next class. Before that, today I will upload some files to this application only. Might be if you already observe that study material anta heli, there is a separate, a specific a option is there. I hope you also observe that. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So our study material na ಒಂದು option ಅಲ್ಲಿ today I am going to upload some of the files which can help to you people. That is what we call, ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ term 1 portions ಇದೆ, that all term 1 portions lessons ಗೆ class work ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. It is an external class work, extra questions, all sort of questions is there. 1 marks question, MCQ questions is there, long answers. So such a type of all sort of questions is there. So today I'm going to upload that within evening. Once you have to check it that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any doubts regarding about this intensive or a primitive subsistence farming? Any doubts?
No,
No,
sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let us end this session. Let us meet again tomorrow. Okay.
Sir, bye, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.